So this discussion about Infinity War is totally punctual and not just completely irrelevant by this point.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. I had like 12 funerals to go to.
Yeah. You judgmental fucks. You know how much grief this man has been stricken with?
Like, literally half the people I know are dead. Fuck y'all.
I'm gonna miss Bob.
I'm not.
He was a dick.
Yeah.
He got us good discounts, though. So, Infinity War. So that was the thing that finally happened after 10 years of build-up. Holy shit. Because, it kind of felt like when the cinematic universe started, when we first realized in that end credits scene, that, like, the first Avengers is the thing that we were waiting for. And they're like, but wait. The Tesseract here, the Cosmic Cube, that's actually an Infinity Stone. And that motherfucker is Thanos. And we're going to set up some crazy shit. And then Avengers 2 happened. And it was Ultron. Still a good movie.
Sort of.
Yeah. And then, what's it been? Like another, 3-4 years since then, we're finally at Infinity War. And Jesus Christ, just all the hype behind this one, all of just the build-up, all the characters.
I wouldn't call it hype. It felt more like inevitability. Like, I had a coworker ask me, so do you think Infinity War is going to be good? And I told him, it doesn't matter. We as a country, as a culture, as a civilization, have invested too much time and money and emotion into this. It's too late. It doesn't matter if it's good. It's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a movie where everyone sees it, which it seems like just about everyone's seen it because, fuck, man, that thing hit the $1 billion mark quick. I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not even in China yet. And it's just like, holy crap.
China hasn't gotten it yet.
At least from the last time I had heard that report, oh my god, it made this much money. It's not even in China yet. But
China loves giant purple dudes.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo-hoo. Is he
Okay.
not purple?
No.
Like, I haven't played Dynasty Warriors since I played it on CRT, and my colors were kind of fucked up.
But yeah, just all this fucking build up and all this investment, especially it's so weird because I just kind of assume that it's the cinematic universe, everybody's watching the MCU, and then it's just all these people who are because I made a list of here are the 4 movies or 5 movies you really need to see to understand this one, and people being well shit, I've seen 2 of those, and I'm like, what?
Right? Which is when the whole thing started. When it was, we're going to do a cinematic universe. It was oh, you have to watch all the movies to keep up? Oh, that's so weird. And we're this is how our media has worked forever. Yeah. And this is Infinity War, that fucking New York Times article that came out about the characters just act the way that they did in the other movies.
Oh my god.
Putting that entirely aside, yeah, that is the other side of the coin. To where, if you're not keeping up, you get left behind. That is what broad universe multimedia is like.
I love. Did you see James Gunn's response to the New York Times?
Probably. I've seen a lot of snark about that.
Yeah, he retweeted them with and replied with, it's I started off on Game of Thrones season 8. None of the characters introduced. Everyone just shows up. I'm thank you, James Gunn. And then people attack James Gunn for being a dick and picking on the fucking media.
I mean, fuck those people.
Yeah.
There is an interesting and potentially intelligent conversation to be had about the nature of film criticism and how, can you take it on its own, deconstructivism and its relation and all this shit, which is not the conversation we're having about Infinity War, because it's, that guy made a dumb article, lol, which I'm okay with as our level of discourse.
Well, I mean, because it's just the thing, this is part of the series. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. Saying that this, judging this as oh, well, I didn't see these other movies. It's just well, I mean, it's an ongoing series. It's an ongoing narrative. If yeah, I understand that people are used to their movies being singular experiences.
Yeah.
You know, even sequels.
It's an expectation.
Like, even, like, fucking sequels, you know, it's just like your Indiana Joneses. Like, each one's a standalone adventure. Very rarely do we actually have, like, the overarching narrative where you really need to see the previous one. I mean, there's, like, Star Wars, there's, like, Planet of the Apes, but usually, though, you can just kind of jump in at any point. It's like, oh, I didn't see... Like, shit, how many people have seen The Dark Knight and not seen Batman Begins? You know, too many. Like, a lot of people went back and saw Batman Begins after The Dark Knight, which
is
so weird to me. But yeah, just... I don't think that's a legitimate criticism at all. That we, like...
Well, it's not a legitimate criticism, but it is an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
Just the expectation, like the way movies have been, and what you can expect going into, a major produced Hollywood cinematic experience.
Yeah,
because it's what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been doing from the beginning, changing that shit.
Yeah, no.
Or at least being different from it.
Yeah, and I like how Marvel is still the only one who's actually done this cinematic universe thing correctly. Because it seems like everyone's trying to force the cinematic universe and they just flounder so hard. Like, DC is still forcing it as hard as they can, and they are just fucking it up every step of the way, except for Wonder Woman. But yeah, so...
Well, I mean, yes, most of the DC movies were really, really bad.
Yes.
I still say Justice League was a lot of fun.
I'm not going to watch it.
If we're talking about completely failed cinematic universes, though, we've got to give it up to Universal.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know, because, there's also the Amazing Spider-Man universe. Did you ever hear about that one?
No, what?
Sony, this is how they killed the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Because, the first one, they kind of had, this overly convoluted first movie that didn't really have, that much of a story for how convoluted it was, because it was all convoluted backstory. For the second movie, they were like, we're gonna start, setting up all the future movies, and we're gonna, have, a Sinister Six movie, and we're gonna have, an Aunt May movie, and we're gonna have, I'm not kidding, we're gonna have, as her as, a fucking spy or some shit in her younger days. Yeah, we're gonna have a fucking Venom movie, which obviously they're still doing the fucking Venom movie.
Which, okay, that Venom movie, I am in amazing amounts of anticipation, because that movie, I think, is going to come down to, can Tom Hardy carry this fucking movie?
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to watch that, and if I do decide to watch it, am I going to be Green Lantern drunk for it?
Ooh, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because if you haven't seen Green Lantern shitface, it makes Green Lantern a much better movie.
It really does.
Because I
never spent a couple weeks going, Green Lantern was good, right?
Right, yeah. And then just all the discourse about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that was kind of dumb. Oh yeah, I guess that didn't really make sense. Yeah, no, that did look like shit. Uh-oh.
Okay, so we've been leading up to Infinity War for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And because even back in the day, even after fucking the Avengers happened,
yes,
which was for you younger viewers fucking impossible.
Yeah,
no way that was going to happen.
I still remember seeing Iron Man, and after that, I'm putting together a team scene at the end of that movie, showing up to your job the next day, being like, dude, you see Iron Man at the end of the credits? Check this shit out. And you're like, and then the very next day, you're like, oh my god, it was real. Talk about the weird state the internet was in back then, because I was not trying to avoid Iron Man spoilers when that movie came out. I saw that movie several days, probably a full week after it had been in theaters. I did not hear anything about a post-credit scene. I just stayed in the theater because last time I saw a superhero movie, it was fucking X-Men The Last Stand, and it had a post-credit scene. And Hellboy had a post-credit scene. I'm like, I'm not fucking getting up.
No, yeah, I've stayed in movie theaters since Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 had a post-credit scene?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, they just had outtakes all through the credits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so So yeah, I just like I just didn't get up, and I was just shocked and amazed at what happened at the end of that movie, and I'm like, so yeah, and the fact that people are still getting up during Marvel films bewilders me. Like it's just like, oh, credits are rolling.
So for the statistically small minority of human beings on the planet who have not seen this movie yet,
Yeah,
it's good. Don't worry about it.
yeah. I fucking loved it.
I mean, like, as these snooty articles are discussing, is it proper form cinematic narrative masterwork? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Because every minute something fucking amazing happens.
Yeah, no, like I was never bored. I always felt like the story was constantly moving itself forward. I feel like it used its characters very well, even though like there are generally so many of them. Just
The movie has like no downtime. Which is
really
usually
doesn't.
either obnoxious or exhausting.
It is, yeah.
But like I said, like every minute something else happens, you're like, yeah!
Yeah, like, because you kind of get to, like, the point with a lot of movies where it's just, oh my god, I wish I'd have, like, a character moment or something. It's just, you know, like, slow the fuck down. Yeah.
But we had 10 years of lead up to this.
But
This is all Act 3.
Like, even though, like, the plot never slows down, it never, like, gets so wrapped up in just the narrative to not give us character moments. And I think that's the important thing. It, like, even though it's, like, each scene is moving the story forward in some way, shape, or form, it is always providing us some sort of unique character interaction, some memorable line, some
which is,
you know,
like that rhythm, that format it's I think it's an indelible mark that Whedon left on the series. That, like, it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We know shit's gonna blow up. We know characters are gonna lol JK die. So the only reason we care about it is if we like these people. And the only way to do that is to actually have interesting character moments and interactions before all of the fist punching starts.
Which is, I'm glad you brought that up because, like, so many people trash on what Whedon has done to the Marvel Cinematic Universe because, oh, everyone's quippy. It's all about the quips. It's quippy.
Have they read comics?
I mean, not all characters are quite as quippy as they come off in the movies. But, the thing is, though, like, I've never had a problem with the quippiness of these films because I feel like every character is quippy in their own unique way. Even when you have someone like Star-Lord, Stark, and Strange, who are very, very similar characters. You know, these arrogant Earth guys. They're all very different kinds of arrogance, and even like them playing off of one another. Because I mean, you have like you know, Quill, Stark, and Strange all in like the same fucking scene together, and their personalities actually do bounce off of one another very well because they're all kind of different kinds. Like Spider-Man's quippiness comes from the fact of just kind of how awkward he is. Mm-hmm. You know, Bruce Banner, you know, his quippiness kind of also kind of comes from the fact that like just. He's not quippy, and just, you know, he kind of just says kind of clever things, but he's not being like the quippy, snarky, funny guy.
And a lot of it, like, oh, well, they're all like this. Well, they kind of all learned it from each other over the last 10 years. Yeah. Like, Steve Rogers only acts like that when he's in a room with Tony Stark.
True. Yeah, and you know, Steve Rogers, he's quippy, but, like, he is quippy in a completely different way. He's quippy in this, like, almost, like, he's not trying to be sarcastic. He is being genuine, good old American boy. And it's just every so often, though, he just makes a really funny observation, or just the things that he says are funny because he's just kind of this displaced individual.
So, okay. Everyone in Infinity War is exactly what you'd expect them to be like in Infinity War.
Except for Thanos.
Yeah, no, we're getting to that.
Yeah.
Because Infinity War it's exactly what you want out of Infinity War. It's throwing all these characters into interesting new combinations and letting that play out. Mm-hmm. It's how the Marvel Cinematic Universe works, and it's what everyone wants, and it's amazing. And religion is no longer the opiate of the masses. It is the Marvel Cinematic Universe comrade. So the only thing they could really do with this movie was, and before we get to how Thanos is in Infinity War, we need to discuss that one line Thanos had. He didn't even have a line at the end of Avengers 1, where his creepy skeleton ghost guy said to challenge them is to court death. And he turns around and is like, yeah, comics continuity grin. And we drop that entirely.
Yeah. Okay, so from this point on, like, we're just going to be dropping spoilers at random. If you have not seen Infinity War and you have not been spoiled for it somehow, fuck the memes that have come from this, because I really feel like it actually is hurting people's experience of seeing this.
Yeah.
Specifically the I don't feel so good meme. Like, there have been people who have, like, I've seen people comment, it's just like, you know, like, it takes the emotional punch out of that scene because they've now seen it be a jokey joke all over the internet. And that, like, for me, that scene was just a fucking gut punch. Because it was just played so pitch perfect. So yeah, like, hopefully you have seen Infinity War. Hopefully you have not had it ruined for you. But if you haven't seen it, dip the fuck out now, because I don't want to fucking spoil it for people. Because like I said, at this point, I'm not even going to guarantee, like the very next day I could say it could be a spoiler. I might not say it's not a spoiler for like another 5 minutes. I don't give a shit. You've had your goddamn warning. So yeah, Thanos, you know, Infinity War, like, in the first Avengers, he just, you know, he has that grin comic.
He's comics Thanos. He's, I want to kill the most people ever so that I get to fuck death.
Yeah. And, you know, there's that little wink nod to it, but, you know, it was never explicit enough. So then we get to... we get the Guardians, and we know, like, oh, he's the Mad Titan, you know, he fucking abuses his children and shit.
Yeah,
okay.
I loved his presence in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like fucking Tywin Lannister for the first 3 books in Game of Thrones. He's over there, and he's super badass, and you just wait till he gets here.
So, you know, we have him in Guardians. We don't really get to see... We get to see him at one of the post-credit scenes, like, if he wants something done, right?
Yeah.
And he gets the gauntlet. And now we're finally getting to see him as a character. And this is the fucking Thanos movie, is what this is. Like, where the other movies were like, oh, fuck, Loki is doing shit, and we need to stop him. And it's, you know, fuck, Ultron's gonna destroy things. We need to stop him. This is, like, you know, like the Avengers are kind of just the antagonist to Thanos, because... the majority of the movie is following Thanos, and like the characters just kind of, you know, like, you know, planning around him and building up their big fucking plan to fuck over Thanos, and
so, and that's the whole movie. So the first thing that needs to be said about Thanos, because there's a lot to say about.
Oh
Thanos.
my god! The more I think about Thanos, the more I think about this movie, I just like. I've been just unpacking this movie in my brain for like days and days after fucking watching it. Just, there's so much, but yes, Thanos specifically.
Thanos is a psychopath. He is crazy. Like, that's not up for debate. That motherfucker is crazy. His arguments sound reasonable from the same distance. Let's eat 75 hot dogs because hot dogs taste good. Sounds reasonable. He's fucking crazy. He has this weird... Okay, so... This is where we're going to get into Malthusianism and sustainable populations in a closed system biome. He has this notion that the resources in the universe are finite, which, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, raises some interesting questions about physics that I am not equipped to get into. So he thinks, I have to kill half of everybody to make population sustainable, which is not how population growth works at all. Like, he's wrong.
Okay.
We're not talking about it being morally wrong. He is practically wrong.
Okay, to be fair, you know, he did that to Gamora's planet, and he says that Gamora's planet was much better off now. That, like, yeah,
Do you think he checked? Do you really think he checked?
I think his people checked. I feel Thanos.
I think he's got like a bureau of telling Thanos that planet is fine now.
I feel Thanos is a professional. You know, checks in every so often. Everything good? All right, good guy, good. But yeah, God, it just Thanos as a character, just that motherfucker has like a god complex like none other I've seen in fiction outside of the actual Bible itself. Yeah, I call the Bible fictional. Fight me. But
well, I was going to call it a question of characterization.
oh,
of Bible characters, because Jesus had a whole different character arc. Yeah, Thanos is on a fucking crusade.
yeah.
Thanos is
Like, I mean, the mere fact that he calls
amazing-
like everyone my child and things like that. He clearly just, you know, he is just playing dad to the universe.
Thanos is a douchebag. He's an insufferable, pretentious douchebag, but he does it with such suave pathos.
Yeah, like his character, like I can't believe Thanos' character is so well conceived and executed in this film, because Thanos was the thing I was least interested in going into this movie, because I saw Ronan the Accuser. That's exactly what I was expecting. This fucking one-dimensional, I'm a bad guy, I want the power thingy to destroy all the other thingies. Fucking shit character.
I always love those kind of characters, though.
I mean, they're okay. Like, I feel like the only reason Ronan works is because the rest of the Guardians themselves are so goddamn fun to be around.
I don't know, I love Ronan. It's the same reason why I love Frieza and you don't. Like, I find that character archetype fascinating.
See, I like Frieza up until, like, he starts fighting. When he's just in the pod being, like, this malicious, you know, tyrannical dickhead, just ordering people around, and just kind of looking at everyone like they're beneath him. That's great Frieza. Once Frieza actually starts, you know, swinging at dudes, he starts becoming a far less interesting character.
We're going to have that fucking discussion one day. So, yeah, Thanos is, like, the really enjoyable or infuriating thing about him is how fucking resigned and tortured he is about what he has considered to be a foregone conclusion about what has to be done to protect the universe. Mm-hmm. And we don't really, we don't get into his moral baseline or why he thinks he has to save the universe. Just, he has to, because no one else will. It's just, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
Sorry, I see a lot of chatter online about, oh, Thanos is this, and Thanos is right. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I don't know, maybe it's just the nihilist in me. Like, I kind of side with Thanos.
Stop. Because he's not right. He just has a savior complex.
I will say, he is my favorite kind of villain in that, like, you know, he is the hero of his own story.
Yeah, no, like, the way they did that was fucking remarkable.
Yeah, like, I mean, they give you so much context into this character. His warped perception on what being a savior is, what needs to be done, shit, being a father, what love is.
Yeah, just like when he got the Soul Stone, when he throws her off that cliff, it's like, the emotional reaction I had to that, it's like watching a fucking rabid dog bite a child and think, oh, poor dog.
Yeah,
it's
like,
fucking masterful.
It was, okay, like, clearly he has, like, a very fucked up perception of what love is. But, like...
Well, no. He's got a fine perception of what love is. Love is just, at a baseline, insane.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? I like that. But yeah, no, it's just, like, you know, fucking Gamora looking at him, it's like, you don't love me. Like, you don't know what love is. But, as far as the Soul Stone's concerned, the Soul Stone, like, you know... Like, it's like, made an objective moral decision and went, that's love.
Because, really, the Soul Stone wanted to know what love is. It wanted Thanos to show it.
Man, can we just talk about how the Red Skull shows up?
Fucking right!
Oh my god!
Ever since fucking First Avenger, he's like, oh, I got pulled out into some time bullshit. I'm like, where did he go?
Yeah.
Apparently to this random ass place. And It's just like the movie goes right over it. That horrible tragedy where like the Red Skull, he wants power, and he's sitting right here at this thing that could give, but the Red Skull is the one in this scenario incapable of love.
Yeah, it's like he has nothing
good.
that he loves, so he has nothing to offer it. Oh. And of all the ways to bring Red Skull back,
That was just... Never in a movie have I been that blindsided. Just like, hey, here's this random callback and gone, oh, that's fucking brilliant. I mean, it's kind of stupid, but it's really good.
so good. So yeah, just like okay. So let's talk about the structure of this film and how it is a film without structure. It does not have like a 3-act structure, a 4-act structure, a 5-act. It is a series of events.
Yes, it's not a narrative. It's
like, okay, when I saw Avengers,
it's just setup and knockdown.
like when I saw Avengers, I was just like, this is a comic book movie. This is what a comic book feels like. Like, and it felt like that's what a comic book crossover felt like. This is what like
An event.
an event feels like, where it's just issue after issue after issue after issue. Like, you could take this movie and break it into 20-minute chunks and just translate directly into comic pages, and it would play out like your standard comic book event.
Mm-hmm.
I have never I've always had the feeling that well, for a while now I've had the feeling that that the X-Men films are the closest thing to actually having that feel of like a comic book universe, because you have like your more serious grounded stories, you have your more weird, dumb comic booky stories, you have weird time travel shit, you have like soft reboots, you have splinter timelines, you have the grim, dark, super serious shit, you have the really good stuff, the really bad stuff, you know, but you take it all because it's all part of the same thing. Mm-hmm. Where the Marvel Cinematic Universe has felt way more homogenized. Everything kind of just feels like, yeah, no, this is all in the same universe. Where like the X-Men movies, it's just like, wait, so like X-Men Origins and Logan are in the same continuity? What? But here, this is like the first time where I went, holy fuck! Like this was a goddamn event.
Yeah, like there's a lot to be said here, and I think that's where a lot of these snooty articles that I have not read.
No, I've seen the tagline.
I read titles and laughed along with the rest of the shitty internet.
Yes,
and that's on me. Because like this movie, it doesn't stand on its own as a piece of art or narrative structure, because all of the setup and payoff is tied into other products, which is again, as we said before, a thing of how this is different from anything else, because it's an event comic. It's just crammed full of fucking payoff from other movies and interesting character moments, and it doesn't have like this like fucking like inciting incident and rising tension and climax and denouement. It's just fucking shit happening because it had to happen because of what happened beforehand.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that I always kind of wanted. Just a movie where shit happened all the time.
Yeah. And man, did they fucking deliver on that. Because just, like I said before, every single beat in this film is up movie. Like, I mean, this movie starts picking up directly from Thor Ragnarok. And we go from there to now we're on Earth. And fucking Thanos is showing up. And fucking, like, Banner is teaming up with Strange. And now we have to go find Tony.
Oh my god.
And then fucking Spider-Man shows up. And it's just...
Like, one of the things we discussed years ago in earlier Marvel movies is how, like, grounded in reality a lot of these movies felt. Like, these characters are weird motherfuckers in a real world. And I just never felt that as strongly as I did when Strange and Tony Stark walk out his front door, and Strange is just in his fucking Strange costume, because that's what he wears. Those are the clothes he wears. He walks out his front door onto a street in New York and walks like one block down and over to confront the alien.
Just Like, there's so much to unpack.
We do have to sadly report, if you haven't seen it and you're still here because you're the kind of mongrel dog that lives like that at no point in this movie did Robert Downey Jr. look at Benedict Cumberbatch and say, "No shit, Sherlock."
You really dropped the ball, and now Strange is dead, so probably by the time Strange comes back to life, Tony might be dead. So now we're never going to get that.
Like, okay, let's talk about that final sequence out of order real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is emotionally affecting in the moment, but like me personally, I'm sitting in the theater, like I'm not a healthy person, and I repress emotions I don't want to feel all the time.
Yes.
Sometimes in my personal life, and often when consuming narrative media. So yeah, when like all these people are drifting away, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put that in the jar until we get a final ruling on that. Because the Infinity Gauntlet is in play.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand...
like, if any of that sticks, that jar is going to open. And it's going to be bad. You're going to see me ugly cry in a theater.
Yeah. I didn't cry, I will say that, but like I was taken aback hard when, like, cause like the first one that goes in that scene is Bucky, and I'm like, he's just like, Steve, and just crumbles. Like, at this point, like I didn't realize what they were doing. Like, I was just like, oh fuck, Thanos did it, and the people are gonna start dying, and Bucky went. And I'm expecting this to be like, okay, this is where we lose Cap, this is where we're going to lose a lot of people who aren't going to come back. Instead, we got the reverse of that. So when Bucky died first, it completely changed my expectation, and I was just like...
Oh. See, I had the opposite expectation. Like, I was thinking, like, okay, because this is me, like, pushing my feelings away, going, okay, we're going to clear out the not useful roster.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, we lose Bucky, and I'm like, oh god, is he not going to be Cap? And then Falcon goes.
I'm like, oh shit, is he not going to be Cap?
Oh no! What the fuck's happening? Now I'm confused. And
well, fuck. Do we have like Tony Stark's not Tony Stark. Nick Fury's illegitimate son to be Cap?
Oh.
I gotta tell you, like that whole scene, I was cold and objective and calculating until it happened to Peter Parker.
Oh my god!
Because RDJ has done such an amazing job of selling Tony Stark. I mean, like, you know, with the alcoholism thing too, it didn't become a huge part of the MCU, but just all through 3 of just Tony Stark, he's a smart engineer, and this is not the kind of shit he signed up for. And he has been out of his depth and 2 steps ahead of a complete fucking breakdown this whole time. And he sent Spider-Man home because he built an insane adamantium robot because he does not want to be responsible for the deaths of any of the people he likes. And Peter Parker's death happening to him is what broke me in that theater.
Yeah, just, God. Because, you know, there's that kind of almost cheesy line from Age of Ultron, like, yeah, he tried to build a suit of armor around the world. You know, like Tony's like almost the polar opposite of Thanos, where, you know, Tony just wants to save everybody. Like, you know, he cannot like just let anyone go, especially the people who are close to him. So when, like, the closest thing this man has had to his son, because he's talking about, like, you know, in the beginning of the movie, like, oh yeah, like I had a dream that we had a kid, and blah 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 blah, and like you can tell, like, this has been his arc, you know, going from, you know, playboy who sticks his dick in anything to man who's in a committed relationship to a guy who's kind of opening himself up to the idea of taking care of a child, like, you know, in 3. Which is one of the few things I really, because 3 is full of so many great ideas, and I really hate the fact that I hate that movie.
3 is an amazingly interesting movie that may not be good.
Yeah. And it's just been part of this arc of his. And now, you know, he friggin' brings Peter into this life, and he fucking just, you know, he tries to get him out of the situation, and he fucking comes along anyhow. And then just the closest thing this man has to a son just crumbling before him after trying so hard to keep all these people alive. Oh,
It's just like fucking Tony Stark's pathology is the entire Marvel universe, the cinematic universe. Tony Stark grew up on his dad not shutting the fuck up about Captain America and how much of a goddamn hero he was. And Tony Stark, like, fucking, the first time he's put in personal danger, his immediate response is to go save the fucking world. And then Avengers happens, and he realizes, oh, motherfucker, his squishy human brain's not equipped to deal with that kind of trauma. Which Steve Rogers comes back from war seemingly fine. Because it happens. Sometimes war is not a thing human beings are equipped to deal with.
Steve Rogers, perfect human being.
Some people go to war and they come back different. Sometimes they come back broken. Some people went all the way through World War I, lost a leg and an eye and one ear and went, that was pretty great. True story, that happened.
Oh.
It's fucking Tony Stark is like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And he fucking, I love that he looks at Peter Parker, this smart kid from Queens who like made all this shit. And he's like, oh sweet baby, I want to protect you and like, but also let you foster your dream. But your dream is stupid and don't do it. But you're gonna do it anyway because you're just like me. And he I knew things were gonna go bad on the donut ship when he went, you're an Avenger.
I didn't even think about that, like being just that kind of thing. Oh my god. Yeah, this movie is full of so many, like I said, this movie doesn't slow down, but just...
Yeah, no, it's a fucking freight train.
But, it fucking wraps up, or builds on so many fucking character moments. Like, you have fucking, okay, there's a bit of repetition in this film, and it's actually repetition that I really like, which is people being forced to sacrifice, being put in the position of sacrifice. What was... there's Thanos with Gamora. There's Quinn with Gamora. What was the first one? I'm trying to remember, because I remember there was one before Quinn and Gamora, and he couldn't do it. Someone couldn't sacrifice someone else, and it led to something bad happening. Ah, fuck. Anyhow, but yeah, there's a lot of that going on in this movie, and it's just...
Yeah, there is a seeded thread of the greater good, and like the first Avengers. One of the great things about the Avengers as a group, especially in the MCU, is that
it was Thor and Loki. Yeah, that was the first one where fucking Loki tries to pull this sneak around.
Oh, Loki's dead on the shelf.
Yeah, I think he's perma-dead.
He might be.
Yeah, but it's
really might be.
Thing is, they didn't
give
sort of
3 movies later is when I'm gonna feel that when I'm like, oh, he's not coming back.
Yeah, I mean, he got choked out until he was as purple as Thanos.
It's one of the things I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life with fucking people now about MCU Norse mythology and Snorri Sturluson Norse mythology. But one of the things that the MCU gets right that a lot of cross-cultural motherfuckers don't get is that Loki is not the devil. He's not Eve. I mean, okay, he's evil. But so's fucking Thor. One of the things the MCU are Loki's he's just kind of a shitbag. And if that's how Loki died, like I said, in 2 or 3 movies... I'm going to feel that, and it's going to be an exquisite pain.
You know who's that's really fucking got me? Motherfucking Vision. That... Oh,
fuck, I haven't even thought about that since then.
Yeah, no, that one tore me apart so bad, because you have Wanda, who's just a lot of people say that their relationship seems like it's out of nowhere. It's just
Does it?
No,
Those people suck?
Yeah, they do, because, I mean, they sowed the seeds. They gave you those kind of, those little emotional beats in Civil War that was obviously going to build to, it's been a couple of years, and now they're in a relationship, and, they love each other.
And they're in Scotland, the most romantic country on the planet.
You just say that because you're Scottish.
No, I say that because it's cold and wet outside, and they're in, what are they, in fucking Edinburgh, and the streets are narrow and dark and scary? Hey, let's stay inside and fuck.
Alright, I'll let you have it.
Like, don't take your girl to Paris. She'll want to go see the sights. Take her to fucking Glasgow or some shit. She'll want to stay inside to not get murdered and have sex with you.
Romance advice from Aggro.
I didn't say romance. I said getting your dick sucked.
But yeah, just when she has to fucking destroy, because she's sitting there pushing back Thanos with one hand. Which, can we just say, like, I love how fucking OP Scarlet Witch is.
She is. She's less varietous.
Yeah.
Her powers have less, like, weird variety than they do in the comics, but she is just amazingly fucking powerful.
But yeah, like, she's pushing back Thanos with one hand, while fucking destroying the Mind Stone with the other, and she's like staring at fucking Vision, and she's like, she's just pouring tears, and Vision just, like, his last words, telling her that he loves her, and he fucking just...
Like right at that moment.
Oh.
Like this whole movie was, you know, for those of us, and I assume a lot of you who at least know how the fucking Infinity Gauntlet works, is how are they going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, I remember getting out of the movie, I told you on the way back, it was 10 years ago we thought, how do you even fight Thanos with a powered-up Infinity Gauntlet? Turns out the answer is you don't.
Yeah.
He just fucking ragdolls everybody. But yeah, it was she fucking destroys the fucking... I'm like, how do you... Well, shit, what are you gonna do now? And then Thanos reached deep into my heart and ripped it the fuck out with the Time Stone. Like, oh, that's what you do. You all-powerful dickhead.
Yeah, oh my god, no, like, when he fucking when Wanda destroys Vision, that tore me up on an emotional level. Just that entire sequence killed me on the inside. And then...
I was gonna be okay with it.
But then he fucking reversed... I'm like, oh my god, he has the fucking Time Stone, I forgot! And
I was gonna be fine. I'm like, okay, it's okay. As long as it was for the greater good. Why is he glowing green? Oh!
And he just pulls that fucking stone right out of his forehead.
Because you can see the look on Vision's face. Like, I think he knows that just happened.
And Wanda had to fucking watch her love die twice. Jesus Christ. Like, that fucking... That tore me to goddamn shreds on the inside. Oh my god. So, I'm really hoping, like, because, like, you know, by the end of this, Wanda just kind of goes, like, full tilt House of M. And she fucking just... She just fucking, like, brings back Vision.
I think we have enough lead up for her powers to do that in the MCU.
You know, she brings back she brings back Vision, creates herself like this perfect little happy life where Wiccan now exists as her son.
Oh fuck!
And then
we get Hulkling.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because we're getting the scrolls in Captain Marvel. Yeah, we're getting the scroll.
Really?
Invasion. Yeah.
So we're gonna have the Chitauri and the Skrull.
Yeah, and apparently that's how fucking Fury loses his eye, apparently, to a Skrull.
Holy shit!
And okay, so if we're gonna have the Skrull, we can have the Hulkling. If we can get that, we can have dead Loki be reincarnated as Kid Loki, and goddamn it, just give me the Young Avengers. Okay?
My god, that run ruled so fucking much.
Yes, because I'll be happy. The LGBT community can be like, look, here's all our representation. Everybody's gay in this movie, and it'll be great.
Everybody was gay in that comic.
Except for Girl Hawkeye, supposedly.
I think Girl Hawkeye's only love was arrows.
And Novar's dick.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I think she just called Arrow.
It's Novar's dick.
But yeah. I mean, I can just talk about this movie.
And, I think this right here, this is the magic of Infinity War. Not since those first few post-credits have we really felt like anything's fucking possible again.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to say, one of the ways this movie is different from other movies is, like, shit, how many movies do we have between now in the next, like the fucking end of Infinity War?
It's one or two because
it's Ant-Man and Wasp
and Captain Marvel. I don't know if that's happening before or after Avengers.
Ant-Man and Wasp, man. Like if it doesn't open with a timestamp of this happened before fucking Infinity War, like half the population of everything is dead. Let's do a bank heist or whatever shit.
Like 3 days after Infinity War came out, Marvel officially stated. Like, they made a timeline, and it's like Civil War, Ant-Man and Wasp, Infinity War.
God, I'm so looking forward to that movie. Anyway, because, like most movies, like you have, like rising tension and climax and denouement. Like, fucking Infinity War was like, brrr, boom! Hold, please. And I'm waiting for it to pick up again.
Yeah.
Because the end of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. This is what we know. He did it. He did the thing he was going to do. And like all stories that involve a person doing exactly what they wanted to do, except for that one episode of South Park where Eric Cartman wanted to go to Casa Bonita, he seems sort of about it.
Yeah.
Because the only way to fight then, like it's what I was saying when we got into the theater, the only way anybody gives up God power in the Marvel Universe is to go, yeah, but...
Okay, what we need is they need to find Doc Doom, and he needs to fucking just...
That motherfucker toots as he pleases.
And we need to like introduce Doc Doom, have him eat the Beyonder, and have him fist fight Thanos.
But we already made the Tesseract, fucking the Cosmic Cube, one of the Infinity Stones. So yeah, he's all like, and also the Gauntlet is trashed.
Yeah, the Gauntlet got fucked up, so I'm curious.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh man, can we just talk a bit about Thor and like fucking Stormbringer and like giant Peter Dinklage and this movie's so full of cool shit, people. I don't know. People don't like this movie. I don't know what to tell you. You don't like fun.
You don't like cool shit. You're a bad person.
Like seriously, like if you just don't like this movie, don't like cool shit, you just don't.
Like this is where we part ways. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Thor's whole side story is just—it's not a part of this movie. It's just also there and also awesome. Like this is like fucking Thor Ragnarok broke the Marvel Cinematic Universe the fuck open.
Yeah,
because like they broke his hammer. They broke his fucking hammer. And that's not what everybody was talking about because you had Kate Blanchett being a goth vampire and...
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I wanted to nail Kate Blanchett since... I mean, my fantasies about Kate Blanchett have been creepy since I was a kid. Both because I was a kid and of how old she was when I was a kid. They've not gotten better because they've just deranged since then.
Well, I mean, also, the beard kind of adds to it.
Yeah. There's some Meta Tolkien lore going on there. But yeah, like she broke Mjolnir. Mm-hmm. And so that like fucking what's his name? Makiti, the guy who fucking directed Ragnarok.
Yeah. Watiki, I think.
Watiki.
Yeah.
I have not looked into that guy.
Yeah, I need to see his fucking vampire movie because I hear it's amazing. Because it's a fucking documentary about.
Oh god, did he do What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
I saw the first 30 minutes of that. I didn't like it because I don't like that kind of humor.
Okay.
It was very well done. I spent the whole time going, this is a really good version of some shit I don't like.
Yeah.
People apparently love it. Anyway, fucking Thor Ragnarok broke the whole fucking thing open with his, like, comics. What fucking comics? And he did his own thing, and it was fucking amazing. Except it wasn't what comics, because it was goddamn Jack Kirby Dreamscape. So when they, like, we're gonna make you some axe that no one's ever fucking heard of, and it's gonna be better than your hammer, and I'm like, this is sacrilege! But being a kid who spent the first 20 years of his life in a Protestant Christian church went, it's the kind of sacrilege I like.
Okay, I think he actually does have an axe in the comics now.
Who gives a shit?
No. I mean, it's just not the hammer. But yeah, because I think...
No, yeah, I think he's got a new weapon, because I think Jane Foster got cancer, and
Apparently Jane Foster's dead now.
Oh,
Apparently,
somebody had cancer.
Well, no,
I think Girl Thor got cancer.
Yeah, no. Like Jane Foster was Girl Thor, she died of her cancer.
Okay.
Or something.
Yeah, she had cancer, and then he lost an arm or some shit. I don't know. I keep up with the Marvel Universe from random stretches of comics I read and Imager, so...
Same.
But I just, okay, I'm the kind of autistic person who really loves it when you're like, here's everything this side has, and here's everything this side has. I watch YouTube videos of fucking total war armies of here's 2,000 U.S. Marines versus 40,000 Predators. Because I love that shit. So the Wakanda battle was my jam.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, goddamn Thor shows up with his new tool.
Oh my god, when he fucking just cleaves Thanos in the chest and he goes, "You should have aimed for my head." Oh my god, I was not prepared for how good this movie was. This is easily in my top 3 favorite fucking Marvel movies.
Because this is what we can do. This is what we could have always done, but didn't. This is what we can now financially sustain in the post-internet universe of the world. This is a movie that does not stand on its own because it doesn't have to.
Oh.
This movie is all fucking icing. Fuck the cake.
Can I bring up the kind of poetic irony that it was Tony Stark who was telling Peter Quill to dude, don't fuck this up, keep your fucking emotions in check, when he was the one who flipped his shit in Civil War and let his emotions run rampant on him, and he's the one who fucked everything up for everybody. The growth of these characters, I love how just every little thing in this movie feels like it is some sort of tie back or callback or pushing a character forward from a previous event, and I fucking love this movie!
This is what fucking Tony Stark is the emotional heart of the entire MCU. Steve Rogers, who should be a parallel, is in fact an obverse, because Steve Rogers doesn't have character arcs.
He really does.
Steve Rogers was right when he started,
yeah,
and he still thinks he's right. He was wrong in Civil War. That's not how civilization works. But he maintains his smug sense of self-righteousness because that is his fucking character trait.
Yeah, because I actually had a conversation with some coworkers. It's who's your favorite MCU character? Because we were talking about Infinity War. I'm like, Steve Rogers. Everybody just looks at me in that back room. What? I'm like, yeah, no, he's the best human being. He is... he's a good old boy. He's a good boy. He doesn't, he's fucking Steve Rogers. Any other answer is incorrect. Okay.
Steve Rogers is a good boy. I don't know if I would call him a good old boy.
To quote Lindsay Ellis, Steve Rogers, perfect human being.
Well, no. Steve Rogers he's pretty fucking great. But in the arc of it, none of us are perfect. Steve Rogers is not fucking perfect. But Steve Rogers is consistent, and the human mind likes consistency in others.
Steve Rogers
is a fascist.
Go to hell. You go right to hell. No.
Steve Rogers flouts the rule of law because he believes in his own divine right to rule by might.
He believes in the American way.
Oh, let's define that term.
Let's not. I don't know how much time I have left on this recording. It's going to be 3 hours.
Avengers Infinity War. It's too good to really qualify because it's just a solid fucking movie of cool shit happening. Shit, fucking Black Widow and Okoye team up to be the most badass duo ever, and I want a whole series of them, going to brunch and being snarky and then beating up bank robbers.
Also, I didn't think I was going to like blonde Black Widow. I did. I think mostly because Scarlett Johansson, she just looks better as a blonde in general, but when I saw Scarlett Johansson, I saw Black Widow's blonde, I'm like, that's not comic accurate.
I just like that she'll make up like a blonde now. Anybody have anything to say about that? No? Good.
Also, I do love the little, hi Bruce. Hi Natty.
I'm back for space. How did you get a Quinjet into space? I'm a good scientist.
But yeah, Infinity War, obviously we fucking loved it. I can't wait for the next one. I'm definitely seeing it. Like, I love this movie so goddamn much, and it's really weird because I also really fucking loved, like, it's really weird, like, because I usually don't, like, fall in love with, like, the summer blockbusters. But here I had, like, fucking, like, The Last Jedi and fucking Infinity War, and I'm just like, I love these movies so goddamn much, probably way more than I probably should. Like this is going in that little box along with Wonder Woman of movies I really like way more than I probably should.
Like, we grew up in the 90s. Like, you're not supposed to love the big summer movies. You're supposed to love, like, the weird art house shit that comes out.
And I do love the weird art house shit that comes out.
Yeah, no, like, Civilization is different now.
Man, movies are fucking cool now.